Hey guys, I'm Heather, and I'm the oldest.
She's the emotional one.
Oh my God. Sorry, Pollyanna, 1 second. I'm gonna pee.
Hey guys, I'm Ben. I'm the middle child.
And he's the practical one.
Oh, here's I'm pragmatic. I take my favorite song and I'm willing to cut it.
Ew, get off the cross. You're not the only one who did that. I'm Beth, and I'm the baby.
She's also the swing vote.
You had one job. What did you say? What did you say? What came out of your mouth?
Together, we make the Music List podcast. Merry Christmas from the Music List, our family to yours. We're coming to you with another Christmas-flavored episode. This is the second one. Again, we are the Music List, where we are siblings that argue while we make music lists. That's what we do. And we just got through doing a podcast 2 weeks ago. It came out. It was novelty songs. Today we're going to do the best classic Christmas songs, and we kind of played nice on the last episode, but I feel like, you know, goodwill towards men, no sir. No sir. We're bringing out the big guns on this one. So, again, classic Christmas songs. Our criteria was it had to come out before 1970, so the 1960s or before we actually had set it to become the 1960s, and we kind of started texting each other like, whoa, 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 whoa. This song aren't going to make it. We're like, well, let's back it up. So we kind of cheated a little bit.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
But that's okay. So, but classic Christmas songs. This one was really hard for me to rank them because I love so many of these songs. And not only are the songs really good, but there's a lot of crooners on this list. Yep. And they're really good. I mean, they're just really, really good. Really silky smooth voices, really good deliveries. They emote the song. You just feel Christmas oozing out of some of them, you know. And so
that sounds kind of gross.
Okay.
Your word choice today is unique. But I digress.
Feliz Navidad. Okay, so
Not on the list. It's too new.
It's too new.
But I think on a 70 to today that would have to be on it. But anyway, that's another podcast.
Maybe next year, because we won't get one. We won't get another Christmas one in. So, classic Christmas. We always ask what the criteria is, and I don't know. I don't know what the criteria was, other than I really like the songs. What were y'all looking for when you were making your big list and then trying to narrow it down? Because that's what I did. I mean, I had this huge list of songs, and then I tried to narrow it to my favorite 9, I guess.
When I was making my list, 2 things I think really guided my decision-making process. And one was a melody that was beautiful and singable. And the other was a sense of nostalgia and, you know, a song that really evoked that feeling of what Christmas is supposed to feel like. You know, I think that Christmas is supposed to feel warm and, you know, you're supposed to spend time with family, and it turns out to be a lot of time it's hectic and it's busy and it's rushed. But we all want that Christmas where you're sitting by the Christmas tree and the fire's going and you have a little chance to just hang out with your family. And so I think that these songs, you can, you know, kind of bring that feeling to you a bit with some of these songs. So that was my criteria. Did it have a beautiful melody, and did it make you feel Christmassy?
I was looking more lyrically rather than musically. I didn't consider the melody so much or anything like that. But what I was looking for, I had the big list of songs, and I was like, okay, these are classic Christmas songs, and obviously it was a huge list. But I started eliminating things that were like the sad Christmas songs. Those things like Blue Christmas, or I wanted songs, and this is also how it helped me rank them, that were almost like rapid fire listing off, these are the great things about Christmas. Almost like a list of great Christmas decorations or Christmas traditions or things like that. I felt like lyrically fully encompassed Christmas. And so that's kind of how I pared this big list down, and also how I helped to rank.
And this is one where I really wanted the first pick because I figured that I would not get my first pick if I did not get the first pick. And, of course, that meant that I drew pick 3.
Oh.
So
I bet we all had the same.
We might have all had the same.
Because I didn't get my first pick either.
So Beth,
yeah.
Beth picks first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Heather second, and then I'll pick third, and then in the round
That's
2,
the same as the last one, isn't it?
I'll do. Yeah, I mean it's totally random. I go in and I've got there's a website where I can put in our names, and then it'll just zip it out, and so
it generated the same order twice.
It did, but I mean there's only so many orders that it can be.
That's true. Just weird that it was consecutive.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then in the second round, I'll get to go first, and then Heather, Beth, and then round 3 will be Beth first again, then Heather, then me. So this is going to be this. I do think that eliminating 4 songs off of this list could be tough because I think coming up with the top 9 in and of itself was hard. But then to take that 9, I think we're going to have a lot of difficulty figuring out what 4 songs to pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once we get that top 5,
rank them. Gosh.
to rank them 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I know what one's going to be.
Yeah.
But 2 through 4 or 2 through 5 could be pretty hairy.
Yeah, because the list that we got when we sent all of our songs in, right, it was pretty small, indicating that we had a lot of overlap.
There was a lot of overlap, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard to, like, we might agree that they are great songs, but we might, like last time, disagree on the order.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
So,
Because apparently Ben came for blood today.
well, this is
It's your holiday.
Yeah.
it is my holiday, and like novelty songs, like I don't get like amped up over novelty songs. I mean, but you know, when we're talking, and I love Frank Sinatra, and I love the crooners. I love Andy Williams and Bing Crosby, and I love listening to them anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like I've got a double CD of Frank Sinatra that I still listen to all the time.
Yeah, you went through a crooner phase a while back, pretty hardcore.
And
Was that in between your gangster rap and Blues Traveler?
It's so
Matchbox
funny.
20.
It's so funny when people ask me what do I listen to. I'm like, it's like a Facebook status on relationship. It's complicated.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's weird because, like, you don't really listen to them all, like, at once on shuffle. You hyper focus on one thing at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want my I don't want Bone Thugs and Harmony. Right. I don't want First of the Month to play and then Fly Me to the Moon.
See, and that's what I like. I like for my stuff to be shuffled like that.
Even though Frank Sinatra was pretty gangster.
Yeah.
Indeed.
For real.
But be that as it may.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get to the draft because I do think that there's going to be some serious conversation trying to eliminate 4 songs and then trying to rank 1 through 5. So, Beth, you get the first overall pick.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
My first pick is The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole. It just feels like Christmas, doesn't it?
It does. And this guy's so good.
So good.
Chestnuts roasting
It's very
on
smooth.
an open fire.
Smoother than Bing even. And
Jack
Probably
Frost
smoother than all
everybody.
of them. Yeah.
He just seems so kind.
Yuletide carol.
You know?
Yeah.
being
It's really
sung
comforting
by choir,
voice, yeah.
And folks dressed up like
it's so soothing.
Yeah. So this was originally recorded in 1946, and he did another recording in the 60s that was probably more famous. And in 2004, there was a study done, and it was the most loved seasonal song with women aged 30 to 49, which I was like, oh, yeah, I have come over the last couple weeks or so to realize that, like,
That's both of our
I'm older.
demographic.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, yeah, the freaking moms, and then I was like, wait, I fall in that age group.
And I do like it.
And I do like it, yeah. But it's kind of like, how do you not? I used to deny liking the song because I was like, it's boring. I want to listen to. Well, as you saw the last episode, I do love a hype song, and so
This is not the
it.
category for that.
Yeah. And so, I was just kind of like, man, this song is just like, it's bland. Everybody plays it, but it is so beautiful. So I understand why. In 1974, the 1946 recording was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And in 2002, the 1961 recording was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the U.S. Recording registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. So not a lot of songs get that distinction, especially a holiday song, because sometimes holiday songs or Christmas songs can trend kind of hokey. Or overly sentimentalized, if that's a word. But this song is just classic and beautiful. Fun fact. We love a fun fact. So this was written by Mel Torme, which our dad always used to. We know that piece of trivia.
Yeah.
But it was written during a blistering hot summer because he was trying to stay cool by thinking cold. And so, which I do in the car sometimes. When it's hot, it's in July, I'll put on a Christmas playlist. And I've had people laugh at me like, I believe when I told my current boss that, he said, I don't know if he said that's the dumbest thing he's ever heard, or he said he did indicate that was a stupid idea. But I would like to just note that is how this song came to be. So how do you like them spiced apples, Austin? Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So the Christmas song. I don't think that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of getting angry doing the research for this category because, kind of what I do is I'll go in and I will list all the songs that I know are going to be on my big list. And then I go in and I research greatest lists in that category to make sure that there's nothing that I missed that is so obvious that I'm like, I had a major brain fart here. I need to make sure that this song's in consideration. And this song was surprisingly ranked low on a lot of those lists. And
really,
like it would be ranked 5 or 8, or sometimes it would be ranked down in like 13 or 14. And it's like, over like Wham, Wham would be.
Yeah, I feel like that's people trying. I feel like that's the whole Rolling Stone thing we talked about. People trying to not be obvious or cliche.
or simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Definitely not a better
Not
song.
that.
Yeah.
And it's like, we cannot be serious right now with this. But, I think that we have said it a million times on the podcast. It seems like sometimes the obvious choice is the obvious choice. And I feel like this may be the obvious choice for this particular. It was my number one. It was the one that I felt like if I did not draft first, I was in severe doubt of being able to draft it, and it turns out to be right.
Right.
So, I definitely agree with the pick. It is my favorite Christmas song. Point blank,
is.
Period.
It's not my favorite, but
it is.
I felt like it deserved
absolutely.
the spot.
Yeah.
It's when I go through YouTube and I look for the little fireside Christmas song Yule log things, if the first song isn't this, it's not an appropriate list, and we'll find one where this is song number one.
If you do like this song though, and you want to listen to something that makes you feel in a similar way in the off season, I must recommend Nature Boy by Nat King Cole. It is one of my very favorite songs. It's beautiful.
So we can now go to pick number 2 of the first round. Heather, that's you.
Yeah, well, I don't know that I'd call this wrapped up just yet because my first pick is White Christmas by Bing Crosby. And it is the best-selling single of all time.
Like not Christmas single.
Not Christmas, of all time.
Wow.
Next behind it, a far second, is Candle in the Wind.
Oh.
97 or whatever.
Yeah.
It sold, his version alone, Bing Crosby's version alone, has sold 50 million copies worldwide. With cover versions, it exceeds 100 million.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
So
Great movie.
Irving Berlin wrote it, and then he came in and told his secretary, I want you to take down a song I wrote over the weekend. Not only is it the best song I ever wrote, it's the best song anybody ever wrote. Turns out he was right.
Not lacking
Wow.
for confidence,
Yeah.
was it?
It's important because it established that there could be commercially successful Christmas songs, secular songs.
Yeah.
His nephew asked him, what is the most difficult thing you've ever done in your career? And he said that it was singing it for a USO show to 100,000 GIs without breaking down. And in a few weeks later, those same soldiers were in the Battle of the Bulge.
Oh.
And
Wow.
it's number 2 on the Songs of the Century list by NPR in 1999, second only to Over the Rainbow. So, I don't know that I would count this out just yet as the best Christmas song, because it is arguably the best, song on the whole list. Strangely enough, the only version that charted number 1 was Meghan Trainor's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was looking at charts for.
Charts are weird.
Yeah, charts are kind of whack, especially for Christmas songs. Because I was looking at charts for some of the ones that I have drafted. And I was really surprised at how well they had sold, but then like their top chart spot would be like 65. And yet it's saying like it's sold more digital singles than, it's like 5th best-selling digital single, but it didn't chart high. So I don't think you can really judge by that necessarily, because I guess some of that is just timing and what else has been released.
Yeah, it was just strange that it's sold, that just Bing Crosby's version has sold 50 million copies, but Meghan Trainor's the one that charted number 1 with it. So there you go, White Christmas.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Solid choice. I feel like
and it was written kind of in the same
And another thing.
in the same manner.
Yeah.
It was written in the summertime when it was hot. He was in California or something like that, and
That makes sense lyrically.
It does. It does, yeah.
okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
I lost my train of thought, actually, which I'm glad you interrupted me, because I didn't know where I was going with that. So you did me a favor.
And also, no, I'm just kidding.
But now I know, because it's my pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Andy Williams. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the kids jingle.
And this is a little bit more upbeat than the first two.
Yeah.
Of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And this was the song that I originally got in touch with you and said, whoa, we're going to have to talk about this date, guys. Because this was written in 1963 and was recorded by Andy Williams for his first Christmas albums, the Andy Williams Christmas album, which had a bunch of big Christmas hits on it, or at least a lot of the classic Andy Williams songs.
I think we had this album too growing up.
That we're known for. And I was so young, I can barely and Mom may be able to remember. We went and saw Andy Williams at the Andy Williams Theater. And was that a Christmas show? I want to say it was not a Christmas show. I was like 10.
The Moon River Theater.
It was the Moon. I actually heard Andy Williams sing Moon River
Yeah.
in the Moon River Theater.
I saw that. Not maybe
went-
not that show,
We
but
went later, all of us, I think.
It was a good show.
But no, I guess I've never been. It's always been like 1,000,000 degrees when I go to Branson, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a Christmas show there.
How do old people endure the heat of Branson as they do? That's a side note.
Get cold.
Yeah, but like they're fragile, but they freaking love Branson, and it's hot.
It's the Vegas of the Ozarks.
Yeah, it is.
Well, there's no gambling there, which is really. It's like, how can you say that?
I guess. Yeah.
It's really more like a redneck Broadway.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Highway 76
And Rodeo Drive with all the
is
outlets.
the strip.
Yeah.
but
Anyway, that was a side note.
back to it's
People in Wisconsin are going,
Branson.
where's that?
the song peaked #1 on the UK singles chart in 2007.
They're
Go
behind.
Go figure. And it's in the top 10 consistently on the Billboard. It continually pops up, I guess, yearly for its airplay in here in the States. So, it's one of those classics that just keeps on getting played. And Andy Williams is just, like Bing and like Nat King Cole, there's a warmth around Andy Williams that a lot of the crooners don't have. Like, a lot of the crooners kind of have this aloofness to them, but not Bing Crosby, not Andy Williams, not Nat King Cole. They almost seem like they would be like that grandfatherly figure, that when you were little, you could sit on his knee and he would tell you great stories. And like, it's a feeling that I love Sinatra. I mean, I've mentioned you, but Sinatra's not that way.
Not warm and fuzzy. No.
But the first three artists that we've mentioned, Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, and Andy Williams, they kind of have that warmth to them, that paternal, grandfatherly type warmth, which really I think kind of drives home that Christmas feeling. And I think that's one of the reasons that we have them ranked 1, 2, and 3. I think it's not as much the song. I think the songs are great, but I think it's the delivery of that warmth in the voice and how they deliver the song has as much impact on why those were the first 3 picks as opposed to some of the ones that are going to come maybe in the second or third round. And I think it's one of the reasons why some of them may pop up more than once.
Yeah, because I can think of a version of this song that I despise. It makes me turn the station so fast.
Which one is that?
Which one?
Throw it out there.
say it.
You've
Yeah, you started it. Now you
you've
gotta.
It's
thrown
Amy
it
Grant.
out there.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's like a Sears commercial. It's really bad.
The softer side of Sears. It's
Man,
not,
I don't like it. But
It's the mist.
that's kind of almost any Amy Grant song though. From I don't love her voice. But anyway, that's a different.
I'm just
podcast.
alienated.
She sounds like she was.
All of
Oh
our
yeah, a
Amy
bunch of
Grant
people
fans.
are like, yeah. Well,
Well, she
all
kind of
the
sounds
tens
like
of them.
she kind of
Yeah.
sounds like she was smoking some Burl Lights with Robert Keane and the family.
Kind of. It's just like a whispery voice. I don't live for that. But
There's a little crackle in there, a little crackle in that
Yeah.
voice for sure.
So it's definitely the delivery is very important.
I have the first pick of the second round,
Yup.
and funny that I should mention Frank Sinatra. I'm going with "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" by Frank Sinatra.
A merry little Christmas.
You prefer this to the Judy version?
Let
I do
your
too.
heart
I love Frank Sinatra.
I do too.
Love Frank Sinatra.
from now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself
That low end.
a merry
This is obviously a song that has been covered over and over and over again. It's one of those, kind of seminal Christmas songs that if you have a Christmas album or many Christmas albums, this is going to be on your first Christmas album. It doesn't matter if you're a country star, if you're a pop star, if you're R&B. This is a song you're going to have on your album. It's just one of those songs. And so I felt like the song needed to be into the list. And I was like, which is my favorite version? And I love Frank's delivery. He's Old Blue Eyes is
he doesn't
classic.
oversing it. Like, it is very easy to oversing this song. And he and Judy Garland both do really restrained, simple versions and let the song shine instead of trying to.
And I think a lot of that is because that's who they are, because their star power, they're done having to prove themselves. Right? So they can just kind of let the song be the song. They can let their voice just naturally deliver the song.
Didn't this come from Meet Me in St. Louis?
The Judy Garland one? Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Was it earlier than that? I thought it was written for
I think it was in the 40s, hers was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know what year this one was.
This one's 1963.
1963. That was a great year. It was a very good year. Oh.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Yeah. But yeah, so, but no, it seems like 1963 had a lot of Christmas hits,
I guess
classic.
That Andy Williams album released in 63. So obviously a lot of good ones off of that.
A lot of them are going to come off of that one for sure. Yeah. But so I provide you that pick for your top 5 consideration later on.
Okay.
Now we go to Heather. You have the second pick of the second round.
Okay, mine is a bit of a sentimental pick, but the delivery, since I'm going to stick with your trend that you have set. It's Silver Bells by Dean Martin. The Dean Martin version, I think, is superior to. Now, Dean Martin does not give off the vibe.
No, this is not the good.
This is the creepy uncle sitting there with
the
scotch and
yeah.
You don't want to go over there and sit in his lap. This is definitely creepy uncle vibes, but.
Or it could be the cool uncle.
It could be the cool uncle, yeah. I don't know. I think the melody of this song is beautiful. And I don't know. It could be that Dad would just make everything stop and we had to listen to it and appreciate it because he said so. Here's a fun fact. Oh, Beth loves a fun fact.
I do.
It was written by Jay Livingston and Ray Evans, and so they first wrote it, and it was called Tinkle Bells. And he went home, Jay Livingston went home to his wife, and he said, we wrote this new song. It's called Tinkle Bells. And she goes, Ben's about to do a spit take. And she's like,
is that a novelty
that means,
song?
she said, that's a bathroom thing.
A bathroom thing.
Yeah, and he said, oh. So they went back and they changed it to Silver Bells.
Jingle Bells was already taken. So,
yes.
Tingle bells.
It doesn't really have
It's ruined for me now, though.
Well, and Beth and I used to...
Oh, man, Mama gets so mad.
We would get in the car and we would add our own background vocals.
We're going to do it right here? Oh, I thought it came...
Yes. I remember.
And so that was funny, like, the first time we did it, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Dad didn't appreciate it anymore after that.
Yeah, because he wanted to enjoy the song, but he knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming. And so I think we narrowed it down to like once a year. Mm-hmm. He'd kind of let us get it out of our system once a year. Fun covers. Speaking of SNL skits, we were talking about not too long ago. The Sweeney Sisters. That's where we got our... So anyway, Silver Bells. It's just one of my favorites. I know it'll probably get cut with some of the other songs that are on the list, but I do think the melody is beautiful, and it makes me think of family Christmases.
So we went
Good
Rat
memories.
Pack back to back.
Sure did.
Well, let me break that up. So, as we have said, I love a party song. And
Potty song?
party.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about
Party.
Tinkle Bells.
No, we're not talking about Tinkle Bells. No more. I don't know how this will be received based on the tone of the rest of the songs. But my next pick is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. Because I feel like it also has all those, mistletoe. And I'm not going to
Written by that guy that sued Chuck Berry.
Dang that guy. But he writes some really good Christmas songs.
Really good Christmas song.
But so yeah, just it's thing after just a list of all these fun Christmas things. We're at the Christmas party, and you get that good feeling of being with your friends and your family. But also that upbeat, cheery time. Not it's a heavy mood when you're listening to the Christmas song, or even it's the most wonderful time of the year, kind of like this. But this is truly that Christmas cheer. I feel like. And the fun, feel good time, good, clean Christmas fun.
Well, this is a
We're
rock
having
and
right
roll
now.
song, right? It's rocking around the
Rockin'
Christmas tree. Yeah.
And this one, so by its 50th anniversary in 2008, this is as of 2008, it had sold over 25 million copies and was the fourth most digital download sold of any Christmas single. And then as of 2016, it was the fifth all-time best-selling digital Christmas single. So a very well-selling song.
All I think of is Home Alone.
I see, and I love Home Alone, so it really does kind of hit me right there. These side note, why do Christmas songs have the longest titles ever?
I don't know.
Because I'm sitting here trying to write them down, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, hold on, give me a minute. But I don't know.
And then you don't want to abbreviate Christmas with the X and stuff, so you got to write it all out.
Usually, I just scribble, and it looks like because I want to save space. So that's my shorthand. If you wanted to know. Yeah, rocking around the Christmas tree.
I like it because it adds a little diversity to what we've gone crooner, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have the first pick of the third round. So my next pick is It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas by Bing Crosby. Mm-hmm. It's recorded in 1951. I don't like that part because I don't like it when songs weirdly transition like that. But
Beginning to look a lot like
man, it's got a great voice.
Yeah.
everywhere you go.
Where?
Everywhere.
Take a look in the 5 and 10, glistening once again.
So obviously, the song is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So naturally, the imagery and the details are there for the transformation around the cities at Christmas time, and then to go into the gifts that kids ask for, and how parents are like, okay, it's time. We've had a lot of together time. Get back to school. So all of those feelings that the magic, and then it starts to kind of wear off at the end. I feel like it's relatable. And then in the end, what gives these sights and sounds meaning is the carol that you sing in your heart. So like you could see all of these things, but it's really what you attach. It's your traditions, your feelings about all of these things that you see, and everybody kind of has a different favorite part of the holiday. So it's at the end very personal, and you get those warm fuzzies. Mm-hmm. And I don't really talk about or get the warm fuzzies that often, so I feel like that's a testament to this song.
So if it provided that for you, it must be a great
It
song.
must be. Yeah, it can warm my black heart.
The Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those classic Christmas songs. I mean, if you start listing off Bing Crosby classics, I mean, it's going to be one of the first 3 mentioned, I think, for sure. Yeah. And there's probably like 10 Bing Crosby Christmas songs.
Right, that's not a short list.
Yeah.
So, I agree. I wonder if Bing Crosby will make the list again. There's only 2 more
wonder.
picks.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Yes, he is. Because I chose "I'll Be Home for Christmas," the Bing Crosby version. His 1943 recording.
I'll be home for Christmas.
It's from the point of view of a soldier stationed overseas in World War II. This one's definitely on the sadder side. So, of course, he's thinking about all the wonderful things about Christmas at home. And at the end, he's like, I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. So, the B-side to this was Danny Boy. He did
No
a
kidding.
version of Danny Boy.
Man, 2 downers.
Right. This became the most requested song at Christmas USO shows, which,
Right.
watching a bunch of grown men weep, probably, it's a little bit more than I'd be able to handle. It was very popular for Americans, but banned by the BBC broadcast for fear that it might lower morale of the British troops. So, they
don't have a First Amendment over there.
So, I think this song, by design, captures all of those things that you love and miss or would miss about Christmas when you're unable to be with your family or at home. So, and the melody is beautiful.
Well, I mean, you're talking about 1946. We're talking World War II. And so this is one of the songs where the historical significance is a little different, and the context of the time period, we don't pick up on that anymore. I think now, if most people hear this song today for the first time, they're probably thinking it's about,
My plane can't get out.
I'm stuck
I
over
didn't make
here
my connecting flight.
in Provo, Utah, and I can't get home for Christmas, or I got to work, in a different state, or I got to be flown overseas or something like that for a job. And when the reality is, this is about men at war that are in one of the deadliest conflicts in the history of human existence. I mean, so it's, when you look at it from the context of which it was written, it kind of changes the whole feel of the song, because it's not only that they might not be home for Christmas, they might not be home ever.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of feel than just, not to be a downer, but that's the reality.
Somehow you took this sad song and made it
Worse.
even sadder.
But that's what it was in 1946.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're just seeing it through a different lens today,
and don't appreciate it, I'm sure, as much, as
So I feel like we need to pick me up.
All right, do it.
you got it.
How about Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes?
Okay.
Guess what year it was?
63.
63.
Wow.
That's right. This is my favorite version of the Sleigh Ride.
See, I love the instrumental version, but I think that's the band geek
I like the
in me.
Carpenters version.
Yeah, let's see.
This is charted yearly in Billboard's top 10 U.S. Holiday 100. And it hit actually as high as number 26 as late as 2018 in the Hot 100, not just the Holiday 100.
Ronnie Spector has a very, very distinctive
This
voice.
is the second highest chart that they had, other than "Be My Baby," which charted a little higher. But it features the well-known ring-a-ling-a-ling, ding-dong-ding background vocals that we just heard.
Is this a version in Elf? Is this an Elf?
Yes, it is. And also,
good
Elf is my
sequence.
favorite
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
movie, which may have had something to do with
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
this being in there. But it is my favorite Sleigh Ride version. And I just think that we've got a lot of crooners.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of rocking a little bit. No, just a little pick me up, because a lot of these Christmas classics are slow.
Yeah.
We've called them heavy. Some of them are really warm. This one's not real warm
Yeah.
as much as it is just kind of happy and go get them.
The girls came in and brought some pep in the step to this list.
Yes, they did. Wow, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
I'm
so-
looking at it. Wow.
I know cutting 4 songs to start is going to be
Yeah.
really hard. Really hard.
All right. So do we need to list them off?
I think so. What are the 9? Let's go over the ones that maybe we did not have, that were on our big list, but we did not get to select them. So, Beth, what songs did you have on your list that didn't get picked?
So I have pretty much my more happy section didn't quite make it. That is the mid 6 to 8 area. So Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms, Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives, Happy Holiday, the holiday season. I love that
It's
song
the
so
holiday
much.
season.
So whoop-dee-doo and decorate and don't forget to hang up your sock. Yeah.
Rubber Goulet.
Yes. And Mark, my husband, used to do a killer version of that in the car, but he won't do it anymore.
Oh, man.
I don't know why he won't, but it was hilarious. And that's all I have that I didn't draft or that you guys didn't draft.
And I only had 3 songs that didn't get drafted, and you took 2 of them.
Yeah.
Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives and Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms. Here's one I don't think either one of you were going to have on your list.
Okay, shoot.
Pretty Paper, Willie Nelson.
Oh, that's a great song. That's a great song.
Cut in at 1964. And it's one of those, if you were to not know, if you did not know who wrote the song and you saw the lyrics, you could see yourself saying, that looks like a Willie Nelson song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's definitely got Willie's trademark lyrics written all over it. And I did want to make sure that there was at least one country song or country related song into the list. And if we make it to December was after 1960 or 1970. So
yeah. Gosh.
Maybe when we do one next year of the post 1970s, we'll be able to sneak some Merle Haggard in there too.
I had 3 that did not get drafted. Blue Christmas. Mm-hmm. I love that song. And I do prefer the Elvis version.
I do too.
But I like the Drifters. No, that's White Christmas. White Christmas.
The
Not Blue
Drifters,
Christmas.
they
Okay.
do.
White Christmas.
I like singing like Elvis.
Yeah.
It also has good backup opportunities.
Oh.
Yep. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
We drafted that one.
We did.
Ben drafted it.
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas?
By Frank Sinatra, remember?
Oh, crap. Yeah, we just had a big discussion about that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to be present again.
Okay, good pick. That's on my list.
I'll remember that when we try to.
Yeah. It's number 7. So I'm just saying.
That's almost top 5.
Yeah. And this is strictly a sentimental pick. Marshmallow World.
Wow.
By Johnny Mathis.
Oh,
Johnny Mathis version.
See, and I like the Dean Martin version of Marshmallow World.
Yeah, I think
I don't like that song at all.
it's strictly mom loves it, and I think when we were this makes us, I don't know, maybe other people did this too. We would just take a night, you remember, and we'd be like, is this the night we're gonna look at the tree? We would just it could be because we were broke, I don't know, but we were like, don't you remember, Mom, do you remember? We're just gonna look at the tree. We would we would put on Christmas records and sit around.
I don't
And look
remember
at
that.
that. You probably couldn't sit still long enough to just
That
sit
must
and
have
look
been
at
in
that.
probably true.
that must have been in the lean
In
years.
the lean yeah. Well, see, I got to experience all the lean years. Yeah. You know? So maybe we had gas money or something by the time y'all can. I don't remember. But
We went from looking at the Christmas tree to getting some gas money. We're going to go look at
Drive
Christmas
around.
lights.
yes,
the lights,
yes.
yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, like, I would be so excited. I was like, "Is this the night we're gonna do that?" And we just put the Christmas records on, and we just sit around and listen to everybody's favorite Christmas songs. And Marshmallow World was the one that Mom always picked. So
I did have 2 honorable mentions that didn't get listed because I got to 9. I was like, I can't leave this song off or this song off or this song off. Actually, I had like 6, but y'all select the other ones. On my honorable mention list, I had "Oh Come All You Faithful" by Nat King Cole. His delivery of that is phenomenal. And even though
you
that's
prefer
not-
that to the Dee Snider Twisted Chris?
as I think that happened after 1970.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't
And then the other one is "Here Comes Santa Claus" by Gene Autry, and I love the fact that it's not "Here Comes Santa
That
Claus."
delivery
Sandy.
is.
Here's Santa Claus. Here comes Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus. And it reminds me of like I could see that like Pepaw listening to that,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you know. And so I was like all those old Gene Autry, the Rudolph and the Frosty. I was like I could see Pepaw listening to some old Gene Autry
Yeah.
albums during Christmas time. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane.
Here's another unpopular opinion. I can't stand the song Rudolph.
Well, yeah,
But it's always
extra
because of
stuff.
the extra stuff that people put in there. I don't mind listening to the Gene Autry original.
Oh, so you don't like he'll go down in here
Reindeer?
like
Yeah.
in history like Columbus
yeah,
or
like
like
a light
George
bulb.
Washington's
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
I can't stand that.
Are you a like Columbus or a like George Washington person?
Like Columbus. That's my age.
We were like George Washington, but then it turned into like my grandpa for some reason. That was like our group of people. It doesn't make sense because none of our grandpas were going
Famous.
down in history. Yeah, but we would say that
And was it like football or like Monopoly?
like Monopoly.
Ooh, yeah.
Ours was football.
It was done both. I think we did Monopoly more
I
than
think
we
we did, too.
did like yeah.
You must have been on the cusp
We
of a
were
new.
yeah. We were right there. I guess maybe football is one of those deals where so many of these things are starting to become problematic. Columbus? Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't do that anymore.
We're
probably.
celebrating Columbus now?
Yeah, but
Is
George
that what we're
Washington doesn't roll off the tongue like.
Like George Washington. Yeah, you can do it. I like it better because you fit it more. It fits the space more. Then you have to hold on to like Columbus. I don't like that. But also, I mean, if we're going to talk about problematic, George Washington, not necessarily the most. I mean, we had some issues with George Washington too, but any historical figure, that's a problem.
Like Thomas Jefferson.
Oh my God, yeah. Pass on that one, huh? Like, who can you pick now? Anyway,
Hamilton.
probably not.
John Adams. John Adams was a strict
Sit
abolitionist.
down,
Yeah.
John. No.
Okay. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
Go
So-
watch Hamilton.
Go, yeah. On Disney Plus.
So now we
Hashtag
have
not sponsored.
We have 9 songs. Correct. We have 9 songs. And did everybody get to the songs that did not make the list that were on your
we
list?
did.
Your big list. Okay, Beth, can you tell us what the 9 songs are?
Ben chose It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and Sleigh Ride. Heather picked White Christmas, Silver Bells, and I'll Be Home for Christmas. And I chose the Christmas song, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas.
Okay, so I had White Christmas number 3, the Christmas song number 1. Beth, where did you have White Christmas?
5.
Okay. So I do feel like there's a general consensus that those two will be in the top 5 then, because both were in all of our top 5s.
Yeah, I could, yeah. Yeah.
Now we may have to fight over which one's number 1. I will give Heather an opportunity to change my mind, but I'll be honest with you. The Christmas song was my number one overall, too. So, is there anything we want to take off the list that we can agree does not need to be on the list?
There.
I mean, because I was going for the warm fuzzies, I'll Be Home for Christmas is truly a downer. And I know it's a great Christmas song. Look, dang, girl, if looks could kill, calm down. Wow.
I didn't even
Wow, your face said it all. Oh my God.
I mean, I think that's a dumb cut. but-
Obviously, you would. Anyway, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying we have to cut it. It's just one of my least favorites that are left.
If I would, the first two cuts that I would make will actually just make it more difficult on us. But I would remove My Last Pick, Sleigh Ride, and Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
I wouldn't do that because then the list is so
Crooner heavy, but I do
it's
think
all the same.
Yeah, but I think that I mean, my opinion is that the best 5 classic Christmas songs are going to be crooners. I mean, if we want to do something for diversity's sake, then let's just go ahead and put that out there. We're going to do it for diversity's sake, and we're not going to do the best 5. We're going to make sure that we plug in something just for diversity. If we're going to make that decision, let's just go ahead and make it so I can take the reasoning off of the shelf. Are we going to pick the best 5, or are we going to sneak in diversity just so the top 5 will kind of have some variance?
Well, I mean, I always like to have some variety, as we've established. You don't like variety at any given point in time. You like everything the same.
Shade.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's a conversation. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying we obviously have that difference. We already talked about it. So that's it. So that would leave it up to Heather.
It's not that I don't want it to be different or that I want them to be the same. It's just that my preference would be that we try to pick the 5 best songs. And if they're all the same, they're all the same. If they're not the same, they're not the same.
But if they're all the same, why are you picking the best of all the same?
Well, because if they're all the same, then the first one's going to be just as good as number 5. Because they're all the same. If that's the rationale, then number 5 is just as good as number 1.
Oh, I mean, like them all being the same. I don't think I could definitely rank these, in my opinion. That's my opinion, though. But
okay, well, just let me.
I just don't
what's
think
the goal? Is the goal to get the best 5?
Well, I think your definition of the best ones.
I'm just asking. Is the
different.
goal to get the best 5, or is the goal to get diversity into the mix?
I wouldn't say that it even has to be that reasoning, because to me, remember, like, okay, so we talked about our criteria, and we all had different thought process on what is the best, right? So Heather's looking at the melody, and Heather's looking at the feeling. I'm looking at lyrics and what is kind of encompassing the holiday as a whole. You were looking at
He's like, I don't know what you were doing.
no, I remembered it was different, but I don't remember exactly what it was. It was the emotion. It was emoting as the vocalist. That's what you heavy weighted.
A lot of it,
Yeah.
yeah. It was the
Which
feeling.
is, I think,
it's about a feeling that you get listening to.
Which
it.
is, I think, why we're having this discussion here, right? Because crooning lends itself to that. But that doesn't mean that a great Christmas song that's a little bit more rockin' or, is more upbeat could not also be one of the best.
I know, but you're kind of not answering the question. Is the
No, I did answer your question.
okay?
Because
so this is. Let me ask a yes or no question because it'll help things. Is the goal to get the 5 best songs?
yes.
Okay.
But you're not. You're going off of only your definition.
No,
of
no,
best.
no.
I told you.
No.
Hold up. Skirt. That's going to be a weekly thing. I told you that the best doesn't all. You're saying that the best are the crooners. That's your opinion. But we're here to collectively decide.
I'm not trying to come up with the 5 best. I'm wanting to know.
Wait. So now you're saying we're not coming up with the 5 best.
No.
I'm confusion.
I'm saying my question is the goal to get the 5 best songs, or is the goal to get some sort of diversity into the top 5? I'm not saying that the top 5 songs are all going to be crooners. I'm asking if we are predisposing that we're going to make sure that they're not all crooners. That's what I want to know.
No, I think okay. Full answer. I think that yes, in my opinion, we're looking for the best.
Okay.
But I think that the best of this list does not include all crooners.
That's fine. I don't think we disagreed on that point then. I don't know what that was all about.
Well, because you got to have everything freaking black and white, and I'm telling you that
I want the rules to be black and white, and then whatever goes in
the
goes
best.
in.
The best.
Okay. That's fine. That's all I wanted to know.
Then yeah, I've answered you.
I felt like you thought that I was going to say, well, best 5 songs are these, and therefore we're going to
because let's look at history. You'll take what I say and then use it and twist it. So I wanted to be explicit with what I said. Because roll that beautiful beam footage, boy. I'm saying that both can be true. So yeah, just as long as we're clear with that.
Well, I never said that they couldn't be.
But you kind of did when you said actually you did, because you said you would cut Sleigh Ride and Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, and then you said that the best were going to be the crooners. Like you literally said that. And now you're sitting here saying you didn't say that? So it's just kind of confusing to me. I just want us all to be consistent throughout the course of one podcast, 1 hour that we sit down together. I would like everybody's logic to just remain the same the whole time. That's why I get upset, right? Because we just flippity-flop all over the place when it benefits us and our picks. And I think for the integrity of the list, you need to keep your opinion consistent. And when somebody like to hold you accountable, you just
listen. We picked Bruce Dickinson over David Lee Roth,
and that was a mistake.
This list,
and that was a mistake. I would like to go on record. I should not have caved. I should have gone with David Lee Roth.
Too late.
Thank you.
It is too late, but I just would like to say that. Anyway, so we got 3 spots to fill.
Okay,
and none of us agree with the cuts that have been made.
Well, okay, I'm saying we can cut Sleigh Ride. Are y'all okay with cutting Sleigh Ride?
I'm okay with cutting.
I think of the 9 songs, it's the weakest link of the bunch.
Okay, it's good.
So now we have 2 in, 1 out. We have 3 slots remaining and 5 songs to choose from.
6.
Yeah.
6. Ugh.
Yeah, everybody's got 2 left.
Man, I don't want to cut I'll Be Home for Christmas. Oh.
Okay.
Really?
I just don't
It is such a good
like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. I just don't like it. So, I mean, I don't have any really good reason, like intellectual reason. I just don't like it.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't want to cut it. So,
Right,
and Ben
so-
wants to cut it because he wants all the crooners in. So,
It's,
should I just
no,
knock it out?
that's not why. I don't.
I hate
think
to say
it's-
that after this discussion we just had.
Man,
'Cause
you
I'm
could have just said that earlier. And
I
we coulda
know,
just,
but I was like, I
It's
was too
not that I
scared.
don't want. It's not that I don't want crooners in there or non-crooners in there because,
Okay.
like, honestly, I would have selected Blue Christmas ahead of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
It's
I would have been. I would have been more in favor of Blue Christmas making the list than Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. But
Well,
that's just me.
well,
And-
but-
But that's consistent with you like very positive
Yeah.
feelings around your Christmas song. So I mean,
Which is
you know,
weird. Father Christmas wants a depressing Christmas song, but that's fine.
all emotions are valid.
I am confused, but whatever. So I just want to be clear. We're cutting Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Heather doesn't like it for no good reason. She literally says...
I just don't like it.
Other than she doesn't like it. So we're going to cut that one for no good reason.
The song sucks. How's
So
that?
it does not suck. First of all, just because you doesn't like something...
And I don't like her
something doesn't mean it
voice.
sucks.
I don't like her voice at all.
Just because you don't like something doesn't mean that it sucks.
No.
But you just said it sucks.
But I would cut
and you
it
have no
from
good
my-
reason. You just said, I have no good reason, and it sucks. So you can't even
Okay,
give me a
yeah.
good reason. Okay, thank you. We're just getting to the nitty gritty.
What's going to be tough is we have to cut a Bing song.
Yeah, I know.
We'll be like,
There's so many.
So Heather said she knew Silver Bells would get cut. Can we cut that?
of the ones that are, I would say yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope Dad comes to you in your dreams.
Wow.
but I don't think.
Wow, dang.
I don't think the Dean Martin version is the one Dad likes so much.
I don't remember.
I couldn't find. I was looking for one, but I couldn't find the one.
I couldn't ever find the one. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was that Dean Martin one, but it was the one that sounded. I really thought it was Perry Como, but I
I
listened.
thought it was a female that Dad liked so much.
No, it was a male because the backing part was female that we.
It could
jacked
be
up
the
so hardcore.
it could have been the Bing Crosby version, perhaps.
I feel like
that may have been.
but it was a
the
duet.
rhythm, the rhythm on the Bing Crosby one that I was listening to was
Yeah.
it was not what I remember.
And it wasn't right on the Perry Como version either. So
Yeah.
that was the closest one I could find.
Huh.
But
Anyway.
So how many? Do we have to cut another one?
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to cut one more. So let's recap. We have It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, and It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas.
he's got thoughts.
Oh God, it's gonna be mine.
I almost started with for diversity's sake. But
Start with it. Why not?
That
You just change your opinion at any given time. Anyway, so let's keep with that. You're
would've-
consistently inconsistent. We'll say that.
That would have just been needling. No.
It really would.
I was going to say, just for diversity.
Just say it.
Maybe we should cut a Bing song.
Yeah, we could. I suggested that earlier, but y'all weren't not having that.
But I do think that It's the Most Wonderful Time of Year is the best song left. And I would like it to go into the good pile.
That was my number 3, so I would agree with that.
You almost feel like you have to have an Andy Williams song in the top.
Oh, for the sake of what now? Just to say we have
For
it?
the sake of getting my pick.
Anyway, I agree with you. So we're just going to leave it with I agree. And that's 2 votes.
Well,
It's the
I had
most
it on it was number 8 for me.
You had 7 songs ahead of that, really. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Okay.
That was a choice.
Okay,
Okay.
so now we have. Well, actually, we've got the top 3 picks that we've considered are in for sure. Christmas song, White Christmas, Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
Yes.
And we have to pick 2 out of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Frank Sinatra. It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas by Bing, and I'll Be Home for Christmas by Bing. We got to cut one of those 3.
My least favorite of those in any version is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
That was my number 10. And I also somewhat feel the same way.
To me, it's even sadder than I'll Be Home for Christmas. I don't know why. I think it's just the melody. It doesn't. It makes me really sad for some reason. But I like sad songs, so I still like it. But
So that's why.
I'll lean into a sad song.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay, well, are y'all in agreement? Because if y'all are in agreement, it doesn't matter what I think. I'll be outvoted.
So I guess I'm kind of.
If I had to cut one,
Yeah.
I would.
Spit it out.
I would probably cut. Well, let me look at my order. They're so close.
It's because they're all the same.
I'll Be Home for Christmas would be the one that I cut.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
This puts me in a position of power. Oh, geez. Well, where did I have? Ooh. So I had I'll Be Home for Christmas at 9 and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas at 10.
Nope.
And I remember distinctly making that choice. So past Beth, no matter what I think now, reasoned out that I'll Be Home for Christmas should be ahead of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. So I would then cut Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Okay, so that gives us our top 5.
Yes.
And it's, well, can you read that off to us?
Yeah, I got to abbreviate these long song titles to look.
Yeah, that's what we're doing is we're picking the longest song titles.
Yeah. Okay, so our top 5 are The Christmas Song, White Christmas, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, and I'll Be Home for Christmas.
It's interesting. We had all the first round picks, none of the second round picks, and 2 of the third round picks.
Yeah.
Made it. So this will be fun.
Oh, boy. Well, Heather, I guess, should we just... Do we want to rank the other 3 and then see what happens with the top spot, or do we want to try and figure out the top spot first?
We're in agreement that those top 2 are 1 and 2, probably, right?
I would say
I
so.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can tackle that one in a minute, maybe.
Okay.
And then
So it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and I'll Be Home for Christmas. I would be
hate
okay with that order.
like I'll Be Home for Christmas was
It barely made it
barely
in.
made it in, so I would say that it would be number 5, and so then 3, 4 would be between It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year and It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas.
They're almost the same song.
And I'll say that It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year was my number 3 choice, but you drafted it first, so I would put that above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got to figure out what we're doing with number 1, and so if my understanding is correct, Beth is strongly in favor of Nat King Cole being number 1.
Yeah.
I am in favor of Nat King Cole being number 1, but you are strongly in favor of White Christmas being number 1, Heather. True?
Yes.
And so you have to come up with the argument to sway one of us, I suppose, to make it number 1.
Well, and don't get me wrong, I love the Christmas song. I think I'll be full disclosure, I had it number 1 of my favorite songs until I did all the research on White Christmas. It is universally beloved, and it is an important song. It is a historic song. It also was placed in that list, the same one that you talked about, that
The Library of Congress?
yes, the Library of Congress one. I mean, for crying out loud, number 2 on the songs of the 20th century. It's number 2. It changed the game. It's just sheer numbers for it to be the best-selling song of all time across any genre. I think that it deserves that top spot.
But was it the most loved seasonal song with women aged 30 to 49 in 2004?
I don't know about that.
It was not, because that was the Christmas song.
I love the song, and as far as, but I also love White Christmas. I mean, I think that they are both top tier. So I'm not going to get mad
Yeah.
and think that the list is broken. but I think that worldwide, just, as a global phenomenon, I think that White Christmas deserves to be in the top spot of the greatest Christmas song.
Okay, but let me say,
Best, is it greatest or best? It's
Greatest
got
and
the-
best. They're not the same thing.
They are
which
not
we
the same
just
thing.
said. And the stats you're giving would be more in the line of greatest, because it'd be maybe the most celebrated or decorated.
I'm torn as a musician. I'm torn because I think that as far as complexity goes, I think that the Christmas song is a superior song. As far as a beautiful melody and the feelings, I think White Christmas is better. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn, but I think that
I
it
wonder,
edges it out.
like, how much of the success of White Christmas as a single had to do with the fact that it was tied to Holiday Inn, that it was tied to a major motion picture. Bing Crosby, one of the biggest movie stars of the time period. And then, of course, I think it gets re-released on 1946 album that had all those stuff. And
Yeah.
so I just wonder, like, if the song of that movie had been the Christmas song, if it would not have had the same success. Because, like, the version that we all listen to of the Christmas song, 1964, music in 1964 was a lot more diverse.
But
and there
that's a
was
a
more-
re-recording, right? When was it first recorded?
46.
46, yeah, but like the version that we all kind of cling to is the video of Nat King Cole, the black and white video,
Right.
and then that. So I just wonder if I just wonder how much of the White Christmas's success was tied to cinema, especially. You've got Bing Crosby, who, I mean, we're talking 1942, so now we're at the beginning of actually World War II.
Right.
But you've got this really cinematic hero that is beloved by the armed forces and the families and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much of it has to, because Holiday
Does it
Inn.
matter?
Holiday Inn was a military movie, wasn't it? I mean, wasn't it about?
Well,
I mean,
sort of.
it was about two military buddies that try to get this Alpine place.
You're looking at me, but I have
together,
not
right?
seen that movie, so.
So I don't know. I mean,
We should have been in Sisters.
I'll say this. I still think the Christmas song's the best.
Okay.
The best one. So I would vote for it to be number one.
Okay. As would I. Okay.
So we have a top five?
We do. All right. So our final ranking, the best classic Christmas song recorded before 1970. Number 1, The Christmas Song. Number 2, White Christmas. 3, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. 4, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. And 5, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
3 Bing songs in the top 5.
Yeah.
The King of Christmas.
King of Christmas, yeah.
I mean, there's
Boy.
a reason. There's a reason.
You better be glad that this didn't have to go up against Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Man, I would jump
I'd
off
bust
a
that
bridge.
list wide open.
I'm gonna. So
hate that song.
here's the funny thing about that is y'all know that I do not like Bruce Springsteen. I think he's one of the most overrated rock stars ever.
Hope he didn't listen to this podcast.
But
He and Amy Grant.
I do. That is my favorite Santa Claus is Coming to Town version.
Really?
Well, how many are there?
Well, the Jackson 5 have one.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Jackson
the
Five-
Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I much
one.
I love
prefer
that.
that to
But I
him cracking
do-
himself up.
Yeah, everything Michael
There's-
Jackson
there's
touches.
something-
And the ho ho.
There's just something about Bruce Springsteen not being on the right note, you know.
Santa.
Santa Claus is coming to town,
That-
Santa Claus. You know,
That I don't like at all. Man, I'm like cringing. My eye is twitching.
coming to town.
Wow.
You were doing like Mongolian throat singing. Right there. You were hitting like two
have
notes at
to.
once.
Like, how does he do it?
I've been ill, and it's kind of like having. None of y'all have been turkey hunting, but
Why do you
there's
assume
like
that?
Wow.
there's like a turkey call. It's got this little piece of plastic you go in and you blow over. That's kind of what it feels like. There's still something in there, and it's just kind of blowing like you're blowing over cellophane. You know, and you get multiple notes coming out. So anyway, so we have a top 5. Great. Congratulations, Nat King Cole. Hopefully we'll see you in heaven one day, and we'll congratulate you on your victory here on the Music List podcast for Best Classic Christmas Songs. We want to thank...
Never failing to make it weird.
And, of course, we want to thank all the listeners for listening to us. Please do us a favor. Spread some Christmas cheer by spreading our podcast.
Oh.
Here it is.
Oh, boy. Thank you all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Time of year. Hear that sleigh. Santa's on his way. Hip hip parade for Christmas vacation.
Oh, I love the background.
To celebrate. Shing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-ling. Now it's getting closer.
Thanks for joining us on the Music List podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
She almost had it.